because UPS has announced that they're making some closures. Um, they're closing several locations due to different reasons. There's, I think, a closure for Indiana. Then there was another closure for several other areas like California, Oklahoma. Oregon is mentioning a certain closure. They're gonna basically offset some of these workers and send them to other locations, so that they don't lose their jobs. Um, but they are closing at least 200 locations here, according to this. Let's go find out here. The parcel delivery giant's $9 billion Network of the Future initiative will involve 63 sortation sites with major automation projects. Um, yeah, it's not going to really affect my place where I'm at because my place is still open for the warehouse. Um, it's just that they're going to probably send a lot of the workers to my place today within whenever time it happens. Let's see where we can find all this at. Okay, so the warehouse in Charlotte is laying off 100 workers. In Miami, at Miami-Dade, UPS is laying off 65 workers. And so far this year alone, and we're only like 3 months into the new year. UPS is already laying off 14,300 workers. Um, Now, when it talks about laying off workers, they're not telling you what particular type of job people they're laying off. It's just that they're laying off workers. It could be any worker in the sector. It could be a package handler. It could be any of the workers on any shift, like day sort, night sort, twilight, sunrise, anybody like that. So far, I don't know if I'm gonna be any of the one if I'm gonna be the one being laid off. Hopefully, not the case. Um, but we do have a couple different news stories to put out. A man accidentally fell on the train track on the Chicago South Side, and he was hit and killed by the CTA Blue Line. I cannot imagine being hit by a train because that would be very painful, of course, and there's no guarantee that you'll survive it as fast as they go. Dolly Parton, a famous country singer, had announced that her husband Carl Dean died. Carl Dean and Dolly Parton were married for 59 years. He kind of shunned the publicity, meaning that he did not like being in the spotlight. According to Dolly Parton, she only admitted that he ever saw her perform in concert like once or twice. So he was like one of those people that was never really seen in the spotlight. It was more centered on her. Um, but she announced that she's dedicated her new song to her husband, who she was married to for 59 years. And when they got married, she was 20 and he was 22 or 23, so they were married a long time. Eh, Downstairs, we got some noise going on because we had a pipe burst and we had to regut the ceiling. So the new ceiling is being replaced. That's why you're hearing the noise downstairs. If you hear any noise going on right now, then that's from downstairs in itself. Um, um, the Lakers have announced that LeBron James has hurt his pussy and he will be out 2 weeks. Um, and that excites me so much. I said, seeing LeBron go down with an injury, that makes my day, because then 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 the NBA can have at least a couple of weeks where she doesn't flop. Um, Rudy Gobert returns to the Minnesota Timberwolves starting lineup. Um, Nas Reed was filling in for a couple weeks as a starter while Gobert was out, but now Gobert is back and Nas Reed's back on the bench, um, where he usually is. But now with spring training going on for baseball, I have to see what's going on with all that. Stephen Curry has just surpassed the 25,000 point mark, um, which is not bad at all. Um, but also it states that Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors guard, has accepted a role with his alma mater, Davidson College, as an assistant general manager for the basketball programs. University officials told ESPN. That is true, but I'd like to. But as I said, he hurt his pussy, so he's going to be out for 2 weeks. Um, but Curry has been a longtime player for the Golden State Warriors. He's been there for 25 years, 16 years, but he's going to be 36 this year, or 37, something like that. I have to look it up and see. Um, and also, Stephen Curry is the record holder on NBA threes in his career. If you're a big fan of basketball like I am, I forget what season it was. The one where Stephen Curry made 400 threes in the season, and that's still a record. And is it going to be broken? I don't think it will be. Um, this got the Oklahoma City Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been dominating this year in itself. He's already had multiple games of 40 plus points, with one of them being a 50-point game. Was it a couple weeks ago? And like this guy's just killing it. There's a lot of stuff on here too. Let's go to up here. The starting catcher, Alvarez for the Mets is injured. He broke his hamate bone, so he'll be out for 2 months. That is brutally painful. I've never actually, the last bone I broke was my wrist back when I was 14. The Dodgers right-handed pitcher Grove is out for the season. The Dodgers' Michael Grove is out for the season after having to have shoulder surgery. So Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Michael Grove will miss the upcoming season after having surgery to repair a torn labrum in his right shoulder. The 28-year-old pitcher has pitched in parts of the last 3 seasons for the Dodgers. Last year he had a 4-4 record with a 5.02 ERA and pitched only 39 games, including 2 starts, but he did strike out 54 batters in 51 innings. Yeah, I'd be disappointed too if you had to have an injury to miss the season. One of the oldest living pitchers, Art Shalak, has died. He was 100 years old. Art Shalak, a left-handed pitcher who pitched in 1951, and replaced future Hall of Famer Mickey Mantle on the Yankees roster and had been the oldest living former major leaguer, has died at the age of 100. He was living in an assisted living home on Saturday, and Saturday they said that he died. They announced Saturday that he died Thursday, but obviously sometimes it takes a couple of days before they really put it out there. Austin Hedges is not the best player in baseball, but he's batting 186, but everybody seems to love him. I don't know why. But the Cubs did sign Justin Turner. At 40 years old, I don't know what he's going to do for the team anyway, and what he's going to provide. The guy should have retired already, and he's still trying to make a name for himself. Bruce Bochy and Terry Francona have ditched retirement so that they can manage again. They're so fucking old. Who knows what they're gonna do? Let's see if I can find the scores for the baseball. Let's see. Today is the 10th. Let's go to Sunday. I don't remember if the Cubs played yesterday or not. Oh yeah, they played the Giants and they ended up losing that one 8-6. But the Cubs are 10-4 in spring training. Spring training doesn't really count anyway. And with me, I'm waiting for the actual regular season to start. And seeing how the Cubs perform this year. Let's see if I can find, I want to see if I can find where, I'm not sure when opening day is, but let's go find out. though I was talking about the Cubs, it pulled up basically opening day for the Cubs. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Cubs opening day, but opening day for 2025. Damn, it's early this year, the 18th, and it's going to be held in Tokyo, Japan. This is the Tokyo series. Let's see who's actually going to be competing in that one. So on Tuesday, March 18th, and Wednesday, March 19th, in Tokyo, Japan, for the 6th time in its history, MLB will be staging a season opener in Japan. Tokyo, it will be the Dodgers against the Cubs for a pair of games at the Tokyo Dome. This is the earliest I've ever seen baseball start, at March 18th. I do not remember that one. The Cubs, this will be the Cubs' second time playing in Japan. The Cubs faced the Mets in MLB's first series opener in Japan back in 2000, but this time they will bring along 2 Japanese players. The Cubs have Seiya Suzuki, who's one of their outfielders, and pitcher Shota Imanaga, who's coming up of a superb rookie season. Now the Cubs, so the Cubs and Dodgers open up first, but the actual opening day for baseball will be Thursday, March 27th. Every team is slated to be in action that day. Of course, I don't have cable. But there are apps, and I know Peacock sometimes will sometimes show the games depending on whether it's baseball, basketball, whatever. I've seen some of my college basketball games on Peacock. Like my University of Illinois team has been on Peacock a few times. And the last time I went to a Cubs game was back in 2005. So I'm about due for another one. Same thing with the Bulls game too. The Cubs are facing the Cubs, like I said, are opening up on March 18th. So March 18th and 19th, they're gonna face the Dodgers, and then on the 27th, the Cubs will be playing the Diamondbacks at home. Now, Trayce Thompson has not been the best player, but coming out of Fort Myers, Florida, one thing is certain: Red Sox manager Alex Cora is a straight shooter, and he gets straight to the point. The team signed the Boston Red Sox had signed outfielder Trayce Thompson, who's a journeyman player and spent more time in the minors than anything. But they signed him to a contract on February 17th, and Cora spoke with him in the media room at JetBlue Park. Now, Alex Cora simply told Thompson that what the latter needed to do to be successful at the plate. It was old school advice. The skipper told him to be on time when it comes to hitting the baseball. Now, we talked about his bat speed and hitting the ball in the air and all that, but if you're not on time, you're not going to recognize pitches. Obviously, you're going to be late, and Cora said to just be an athlete and put yourself in a position where you can attack the ball and move fast. Now, Cora's advice seems to be paying off, because entering Tuesday's action against the Phillies, Thompson has been Boston's most consistent hitter, with 9 hits out of 23, and hitting 6 homers in the spring training, and he's got 12 RBIs. Now the six home run of during spring training came on Sunday against Braves right-hander Bryce Elder during a 7-3 victory at JetBlue Park. No, it's not as simple as one thing, Cora said, and the hitting guys have been super transparent and direct with me. Thompson said, basically we tried to work on some things to clean up my bat path, but it's always going to be a work in progress. You could always get better, but at his age, I doubt that. And Trace Thompson is the brother of basketball player Klay Thompson. And I actually do like Klay Thompson in basketball. I'm so fucking tired. But let's see here. I gotta look and see when my college team plays again. Let's go to scores for college. Okay, I'm trying to think because there's different leagues. Let's see what we had here yesterday. Let's see, yesterday Michigan State beat Michigan 79-62. I'm looking for my college team is in the Big Ten. Yeah, Northwestern's not having a good year this year. They're 16-15. Yep, so. Ah, crap. Okay. Let's see what we got here. My college team, Illinois, beat Purdue 88-80 on Friday. That was their 20th win of the year against their 11th loss. They scored 40 points in the first half and 48 in the second. So that's not too bad. I guess Illinois will not play again until maybe sometime next week. Let me see. Or it could be this week, but let's see. Oh yeah, okay, Illinois plays again on the 13th, I think. Let me see, is this the 13th? Or 14th? Okay, they won't play again until this Thursday. So that's not too bad. So I'm just looking up some other stuff here. Basically Brad Sigmund has died. He's only the second convicted murderer to be executed by a firing squad. The other one was Gary Gilmore or whatever his name was. Which they chose. That's the way they chose to die, which I don't understand why. DJ Funk has died. DJ Funk is mainly works in the rap industry. Um, Basically, his real name was Charles Chambers, but DJ Funk was born June 20th, 1971. He died in March of 2025. He was only 53 years old, but he was better known by his stage name DJ Funk, and he was an American DJ who pioneered the ghetto house subgenre of house music. It says he died of cancer at the age of 53. Um, Ghetto house, I think, would be more like rap music, but let me see. Yeah, I'm not familiar with DJ Funk. I think I've heard his name before, but I'm not familiar with him particularly. Um, let's see what else we got here. Yesterday, the last 3 days, I did a step battle with somebody, and we were competing to see who can walk the most steps in 3 days' time. I eventually won. There's an app that I'm on, and it calculated how many steps I took and how many the person took. Compared to the 14,000 they took, I walked over 67,000 steps in 3 days. So I beat them by a lot. Um, I'm not sure when this guy's gonna be done with the fixing of the ceiling in the kitchen. But once he gets done, I'll be kind of glad, because then I don't have to hear all this noise that I'm hearing. Wow, I didn't even realize she was a rap. That she even rapped at one point. I guess I have to look that up. Angie Stone, the lady I talked about earlier who died, they said that she also had an actual song where she was actually in a rap group called The Sequence. I do not remember that. Honestly, I don't really know much about that anyway. But I'm gonna keep everybody informed about my UPS journey. Like some of my subscribers were saying that they couldn't like whatever areas that they were in, they were trying to keep an eye out for UPS listings for openings, and but depending on the town you live in, you might not see them if they're having closures. If you live in Indiana and you're close to Indianapolis, you're probably not going to see any openings because of the closures. If you're in California, you might not see any because of the closures. If you're in Oklahoma, same thing. Same thing with Oregon. If you're living in any of these states, Maryland, you're not going to see any openings if you're living in those areas. So just keep an eye out for like whatever, like whatever you can. But even I will state that UPS is not for everyone because it is a backbreaking work. Um, I've already injured myself there once, but it wasn't like a bad injury. Well, it was painful injury, but it wasn't a bad one. I was pushing a roller in, and I slipped and fell and landed on top of the sleigh bar, and I busted my knee, and I was bleeding really bad. But that was really it. It wasn't like a bad injury that would knock me out for like a whole month or so, like some people have. Um, so that was like my only main injury. Um, every once in a while, the managers will bring food in for the workers, which they did today. We had chicken and fries this morning, um, but that doesn't happen very often either. I wish almost every job appreciated the workers like UPS does. Um, armed men rob another regularly billed bar goer overnight. Um, At home in Lockport, Illinois, a homeowner seeks action after a fourth car has crashed into the property of their place. Man, what the hell? And you can actually see this right here. Yep, the person crashed into something right there. So the homeowner in an unincorporated area of Lockport is speaking out after a car crashed into her property Saturday night for the fourth time already. Um, this is enough, and it's the fourth time, Christy Howard said. Christy Howard told WGN News that she's loved calling unincorporated Lockport home for the last 5 years, but now she's fed up as this marks the fourth time a vehicle has crashed into her property along 143rd Street in Archer. And neighbors' camera captured the latest incident that happened Saturday evening. Somebody was coming down 143rd approaching the light, Howard said, and they were the fourth car making the turn. Instead of making the turn, they went on straight and airborne the ditch and ended up in our garage. So basically, they hit her garage door and busted it open. And now the crash caused significant damage to the garage and Howard's Jeep with debris spread across the driveway. Just hours before the crash, her son and husband were in the garage, but Howard is relieved that no one was inside the garage at the time of the crash. Um, it does not say what led up to the crash, but people probably just taken the turns too wrong. That's not uncommon. Yeah, I think I remember something about this story. Um, let's see this here. A wrongfully convicted Marquette Park 4 member is writing a memoir after 22 years behind bars, basically for a crime he never committed. Um, Sean McCoy, who was wrongfully convicted as a teenager, has spent more than 2 decades locked up for a crime he never committed before he got exonerated in 2017. His case highlights Chicago's history of wrongful convictions, which have led to hundreds of exonerations. Um, so what we know from this particular case, in 1995, McCoy was arrested at the age of 17 in connection with the double murder and robbery in Chicago. During that time, there was, and despite a lack of physical or forensic evidence, he and 3 other people, which were later dubbed the Marquette Park Four, were convicted and sentenced to lengthy prison terms. Okay, so McCoy's conviction was overturned in 2017 after serving 22 years behind bars, and prosecutors dismissed all the charges. Now, that same year, the city of Chicago settled a lawsuit with the 4 men for a combined total of $50 million. They technically, if they were wrongfully convicted, they should have gotten more than that. Now McCoy is turning his painful experience into a book that he hopes will not only shed light on the failures of the criminal justice system, but also inspire those facing similar battles. Now, the backstory for this is that McCoy's backstory case is a part of a broader pattern of wrongful convictions in Illinois, which Illinois has seen more exonerations than any other state. The Innocence Project has dubbed Illinois the wrongful conviction capital of the country, with 540 people exonerated to date in Illinois. Basically, McCoy said he does not know how it feels to be in your 20s and fall in love and dream of building a family and create the stepping stones for your future, McCoy said in a statement, but all of that was taken away from me as I sat in a cold jail cell knowing the truth, but not being able to do anything about it. Now McCoy acknowledges that his legal settlement has provided some financial stability, but he says no amount of money can make up for the years that we lost. Yeah, I felt kind of bad for that one. Okay, close that one out. In Kokomo, Indiana, a woman has been sentenced for Social Security fraud. A lot of people have a tendency to do that. They, like basically, they will try to cash in on somebody's social security, even though it doesn't belong to them. This is a very rare case. It basically doesn't happen very often. Yeah, I still gotta somehow get to the college I'm going to get my books and my student ID. But right now it's been put on hold for right now because I gotta make sure I got enough money to cover getting there and back. Um, so I guess I gotta wait till Thursday when I get my check from UPS to see how much it's gonna be and seeing if I got enough money to cover all this. But as long as I maintain my C average at UPS for my classes, I'll get a $300 bonus in my on a card, like a grant fund bonus. So it's like $300 to $400, and I can use that for whatever I want. Um, so that's pretty much all for today. I will be back sometime, possibly next week. Gotta work out a schedule for that. And so if you like the video, you get the video, like and subscribe to my channel. RVW King. We're gonna try to break 500 subscribers this year. I've been trying to break it for the past 7 years. We're gonna try to push 500 plus. Um, but if you enjoy my UPS journey and any other news stories, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment letting me know what you guys are thinking on any of the videos. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the about section of YouTube. And for just a little as a few bucks a video a month, your donation can help go a long way. And thanks for listening.